Jesus told his disciples that they would be known by their love. Because Jesus knew that as Christians, we were made to live in community, made to live together, needed to be unified because we had one common enemy who was out for our souls. And we tend to forget that. We tend to forget that our enemy is not one another. Because when we disagree and we argue and we don't understand and we don't see eye to eye, we forget that the person we fight against physically is not our enemy. Because we don't fight a battle of flesh and blood, but we fight a spiritual battle every day. And we forget about that spiritual battle when we think that we have to physically defend ourselves against those that we love, our families, our friends, our spouses, our kids. And Ephesians chapter 6, it reminds us in verse 12, it says this, it says, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities and the cosmic powers over the present darkness." You know what darkness it's talking about. It says, over the powers of the present darkness, or against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. We are not each other's enemies, but it's easy to forget that when tensions are high and anger is high and frustration is high and annoyances are high and they push all of the right buttons. Keep in mind that we need to stand unified in our love, to be known by our love, by our mercy, by our grace, and that our biggest enemy is the spiritual enemy that we have. And we need each other to stand unified. So this year, remember, your spouse, your kids, your friends, your family, they are not your enemy. In fact, they're your biggest supporters, your biggest cheerleaders. When you choose to love and to show grace, to show mercy, to be known by the love that Jesus intended us to be known by, we have one common enemy and we stand unified against him. I'm excited to see what God's going to do in your family this year. We love you. Have a good week.